Hi, Coach. Talk to me about this week's game, kind of
Yeah.
where you guys go from here. Coming off a real tough game, but
Yeah.
you've had a really tough stretch to start the year, 4 road games in the first half of the season. Now you're looking at a favorable a lot of home games the rest of the way.
Yeah, no, obviously you don't want to lose a game, but it's why you love the game because there's the risk of it. The winning's great, the losing is nothing comfortable about it. However, what you do is you love that you've got a chance to go play and play a tough game on the road, and you come down to a chance to win the game in the end. We got to close the deal. There's mistakes that we made. But it's also the way we look at it is just opportunities to keep growing. This is constantly you're taking in the information and you're taking in the lessons that the game provides, and you're learning from and you're growing from as fast as you possibly can. And that's where I get excited to come back to home and excited about our team's progress, where we're going forward. So this week coming up, Humboldt State, it's always a formidable opponent. You're back in the GNAC play. Is there ever a day off in GNAC play? Absolutely no. So let's get back at it, and I'm excited to grow.
How do you think this team will respond? Usually when that first loss is always, sometimes it kind of just lays there for a while.
Yeah.
But how do you think this team will respond?
Well, they should respond like I do, then get back to work. I mean, the thing about it is you can't philosophize your way out of coming back from a loss. You can't sit there and question what's going on. You look at the tape, you look at the facts, you grow from it. That's you do. And the leadership on the team, the desire this team has to be successful, I'm very impressed with it. Now, you're talking about 18, 23-year-old young men that in today's day and age where they're growing up, and emotionally some things can probably try to challenge them. I like this team where they're at. I like the leadership and how much they love each other with it. Is losing ever easy? No, because as soon as it gets easy, that's when you know you're on the verge of being a loser. It's hard because these kids are winners. They know how they understand the process of it all, and for coaches, for the program, for our school, nobody likes the taste of this, and nor are we getting used to it. But as soon as you try to become defensive, try to say, oh, it's about you, it's about that, it's like that's when that's loser behavior. It's like, hey, own it. We talk about the growth mindset. The opposite is a fixed mindset, and that fixed mindset people, they have a hard time taking ownership of reflecting honestly what they can do, what they got to get better at. This group, we're not perfect, but I sense there's a real humility of let's own it and let's get better from it. And that's where we're excited, because there's no time to sit back and wonder and worry. You got to get to work. And so I love my job, man. This is good. We want to get after and be competitive. So these kids will be good. I'm excited for them.
And it's got to be good to have your in-state rival coming up after that. And the fact that you beat them the first time, they're going to be really prepared for it.
Yeah, I mean, the way this league works, when you play people twice, you got to know they're going to recalibrate. They're going to figure out what they think that they can do to get better. There's things for us is that there's opportunities that we got to get a lot better from the first time we play an opponent. So to me, it's always you're on the hunt, and you're on the hunt to always be the most critical of yourself. So and you find those little moments and those little opportunities to get better. And for me as a head coach, how do I keep getting better as a head coach? The coordinators, how do they get better? How the staff, how do they get better? And this team, everyone has got a role, and every one of them can always do a little bit more. And as soon as you think that, hey, I've got it, that next moment, it's really you start to go backwards. The old adage, you're getting better, you're getting worse. I mean, scientifically is true. I mean, the way that the neuroscience research comes out is that you have to show that every intentional, purposeful effort of my rep has to happen. So if I'm not being purposeful with my activity, then you're leaving things a chance. So yeah, I think just GNAC play fires me up. We're in the back half of it now. Been going into Game 7, and Game 7, I mean, this is it. Let's go. It's time to get work. I'm really excited to get to work here.
And then special teams. I mean, you got Tyree with another big kick return.
Yeah.
You know, longest he could possibly go.
Yeah.
Finally got some returns to have, and then the punting game.
Yeah.
You know, Jacob Hall did a great job, but getting field position there.
Yeah.
How big has your special teams been for field position for your team this year?
Well, it's huge, but it hurt us also this time. I mean, there's two sides of that coin. Everything you mentioned is exactly right. There are good highlights and good things. I thought Jacob doing a great job. Tyree's obviously a dangerous returner. And for Tyree to be that successful, it takes other guys that are helping out. But, you know, our average starting field position prior to these games has been pretty favorable to us. But unfortunately, this time, our average starting field position was only 21.75 yard line. And so, you know, that's different. Now you got to create a longer drive. And field position is everything in football. So our special teams, I think I'm excited about them. They are special. But then this last week, they weren't as special as we needed them to be. And I think that's a collective theme throughout all three phases of the game, is that this is a very good team. However, we need to be great on Saturday, and we need to be better on this Saturday coming up. And so discipline always beats talent, and we got to become more disciplined in some of those areas across the board, consistent before quarters.
And kind of a special event for you guys this weekend. It's the 500th APU football game in the school's history. How would you, just how special, you've talked about homecoming being a special event for you, kind of the season opener, the Thursday night. What is this is kind of a unique one for you. How do you look at this game and approach this with the milestone that you're hitting?
Well, when you realize you're a part of history and you're part of a program that it's just there's so much rich history that comes from the people that have come out of this program, the coaches who've coached before me, the administrators, the students. A 500 game mark it shows that, hey, this is a program that's here to stay, and there's a rich history behind it. You know, the Azusa Pacific brand, the AP, is probably relatively new on the national stage, but yet it's historic, and there's so much behind it. And so this 500th game marks, I think, a big anniversary time for us to say, you know what, take stock about what this program has done and represent, and because I think there's so much value there, there's so much richness to it. And I'm very proud of the school. I'm very proud of us being able to take a field, and for me, what an honor and a blessing to be the head coach of the 500th game. Another big thing coming up this week, which I'm very excited about, is it's our annual Coach the Mighty Minds, the City of Azusa's Youth Flag Football League comes on this Wednesday. And I tell you, our guys get a chance to coach those young kids up. It's one of the most highlights of the year, and I love it. And Mark Gonzalez does a great job at the City of Azusa, and we're going to be ready for them when they come to keep coaching. Our players get the chance to coach and make it a great night.
Yeah. Well, what a busy week.
Busy week. Let's go back to work. All right.